Das spreche ich auf Deutsch oder Englisch? Englisch, ne? Then you can translate. Okay. Okay. Practical. So, class will be in English. And thank you. So we have the Bhagavatam class. Probably about the topic of Chitraketu. And we have a transcendental diary. And that might guide us into speaking a little bit about Prabhupada at the end, or a little bit more. Kann mir jemand zeigen, wo wir sind in dem Buch? Anyone knows where we are in this book? There is no sign. Wer hat das letzte Mal daraus gelesen? Yesterday, someone, did you read yesterday? Or yesterday was Prabhupada lecture? In Vrindavan? Bitte? Dreiviertelbuch, okay. Also etwa hier.
Ja, irgendwo hier, genau.
Shri Vrindavan. Down. Okay, ich fange mal hier an einem Tag. Ich suche den Anfang des Tages. 5. September. Okay. Lord Vamana's Appearance Day. Habt ihr das schon gelesen? Okay, so reading from Transcendental Diary. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Prajarine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtatya Deshatarine. Today is Lord Vamana's appearance and we have observed a half-day fast. So we are reading from a Transcendental Diary. That happened on the 5th of September 1976. Prabhupada was in Vrindavan. And they are celebrating Lord Vamana's appearance day. The pleasant ideal Srila Prabhupada enjoyed on his first night in the garden has been short-lived. Now the temple management, the disputes between the leaders are once again taxing his brain. He is always frustrated with the management here. Reports of gross overspending are the cause of his present anxiety. Vrindavan is one of our most important centers, and a great deal of money has been spent on the temple and on a guest house that has not yet proved successful. Prabhupada is anxious that bad management may not end up spoiling everything. This morning he met with Hansadutta and Akshayananda Swamis. Hansadutta seems to generate agitation and controversy wherever he goes. He has been here for only 2 months and already the devotees have polarized into 2 camps. Those that want him to take over as a temple president and those who don't. There is indeed a general dissatisfaction with the way Akshayananda Maharaj runs things. But although Srila Prabhupada shares this, he made it clear this morning what he wants from each of them. So, I think Prabhupada has just arrived in Vrindavan, or at least the day before he enjoyed a new garden There was a gardener, devotee, in Vrindavan. He made a nice garden for Prabhupada. So Prabhupada had a wonderful day in the garden, and evening he was enjoying the garden, speaking with the devotees. But now for today, the topic changes to the management of the Vrindavan temple. And it seems that the devotees are not very talented in managing. I don't know if you have ever been in a management position in ISKCON. Is maybe one of the most difficult things you can experience, at least in ISKCON, is one of the most difficult things, and I think it's also generally a very difficult thing to do. Because for a manager in ISKCON, my opinion, you have to be very capable in two things, different things, or of course they go together. One is that you know how to manage in general, how to manage things, that everything is working well, and management also means mainly managing people, so they cooperate together. So that's one aspect. A manager needs to know how to do that. And another thing is how to manage devotees, which is still a different thing. It's a different chapter. And managing devotees especially, that is, and of course managing an ISKCON center, especially here Vrindavan, the most holy place in the universe. And that temple, Krishna Balaram temple, is a very special place, really. It's a transcendental affair, so you have to be advanced in Krishna consciousness as a manager. It's not sufficient to have management skills, but you also need management skills. Only being advanced. No? Just see Srila Prabhupada's example. No, spiritual advancement to the highest platform. But also materially, so to speak, he was very capable. He had all kinds of knowledge and skills how to do things. Especially he was a good manager. He knew how to deal with the world. He knew how to deal with ordinary people. And he knew to deal with devotees. All kinds of devotees. To deal with devotees is, well, as I said, is on the spiritual platform. It's not just like dealing with other living entities, with humans, it's devotees. So it means we should be respectful to every living entity in this world. But with devotees, it's another level of respect that we should have. Someone has dedicated his life or her life to Krishna. This is a very special thing. And even you might have to deal with devotees that are a little difficult. They may be not so advanced, but Krishna doesn't care. It's his devotee. He wants that his devotee is treated well, with full empathy, with your heart. No? Devotees are very dear to Krishna. So in that realm, in devotional service, kind of everything is auspicious, what you do. If you bow down in the temple, you touch, or anywhere, you bow down to Krishna, to the devotees, you touch your forehead to the ground, you chant prayers, you look at the deities, you smell a flower that is offered to Krishna. Everything is so auspicious. But then there is also the topic of offenses. which is, it's not destroying your spiritual life. Nothing, no spiritual achievement that you have ever made in Krishna consciousness can be ever destroyed. You have made that advancement. But offenses can bring your advancement, your further advancement, to a halt. You stop. It creates a big problem in our spiritual life. Not that we are taking away the spiritual advancement, but that further advancement is difficult because we lose our taste in Krishna consciousness. We lose our spiritual vision. We can lose a lot. So that's why dealing with devotees is super auspicious, but also you have to be respectful. Try to develop loving relationships with devotees. Keep in mind that devotees are special. And yeah, so that's a problem of temple management. So here are two Swamis Prabhupada is speaking with. One was a temple president in Vrindavan, Akshayananda Swami, and another one, Hansadutta Swami. He just arrived 2 months ago. He was supposed to help with the preaching, but he's a strong personality. Hansadutta was the one who built up the German Yatra in Prabhupada's times. He laid the foundation for ISKCON in Germany. And he was very strong in preaching and a very strong character. He achieved a lot. But also, like it is said here, polarizing people. Polarizing. Wie sagt man es auf Deutsch? Polarisieren? There were always devotees who swore on him. Whatever he does, we do it. Hansadutta is our man. And others said, no, I cannot go with that. with that guy. I cannot cooperate with him. So now in Vrindavan the same thing happens. He is a strong leader. So he comes there, and that means that his followers want him to take over everything, the management and everything. And the situation is that there is already a temple president, and the devotees are not so happy with him, and Prabhupada also sees some things he is not doing well. But still Prabhupada wants the cooperation of his disciples. How can he build a movement if they are only fighting? How can you have a family, you are parents, you have children, and you love all your children, but the children are always fighting? That is a big problem for the parents. You want harmony in your family. You want all your children to grow up. You want all your children to thrive, to advance in life. And of course there can be some quarrels, fights, but if it becomes too much, that is a problem. So maybe the biggest problem that Prabhupada was facing while establishing his movement, and we still have that problem today, of course, because it's human nature, and that is augmented, multiplied by Kali Yuga. And Kali is the age of quarrel. So if we are influenced by it a little bit, devotees fight in between each other. And that doesn't mean that we cannot have arguments. We can speak about things. You say, no, we should do it like that. You say, no, I don't think so, better like that. You say, I don't agree. That's okay. Everyone gives his or her contribution. But we have to always find a way to settle, to find a compromise. So, okay, we do it like this. Sometimes before I was convinced my way is the perfect way. But I hear all your arguments and I say, okay, actually you are right. We do it your way. Or we might find a compromise. Okay, let's find a middle way, whatever it is. And if we cannot work together at all, that might happen also. I think what Prabhupada wants from us and what is needed for the movement is not that everyone works together with everyone all the time. But there can be groups. You can work with a group that you can work with. No? And I work with another group because it's better for me. But on the whole, ISKCON as a whole, we have to work as a family. And if you are on a temple project, you also try to work as a family. You try to see how you fit in that family. Play your role. If you don't agree, you can speak up, you can say, I don't agree. But sometimes we don't agree, but still we do it. Or still we try to cooperate at least. So we will see now how Prabhupada settled this thing. He has two leaders and there's a disagreement. So Prabhupada is meeting with them. He sat facing the two sannyasis over his desk. Hansadutta to his left, Akshayananda to his right. Prabhupada addressed Hansadutta first. You are a sannyasi. Why are you spending such a long time here? You have a bus and you must travel. Sannyasi means that now you have to preach all over the world. Why you should be thinking of becoming the president here? Actually, a sannyasi should not remain in one place for more than 3 days at a time. You have your bus, and if the wheels stop turning, then it means the preaching is also stopped. They have a motto, the wheels must keep turning. And it is the business of every employee, whether a train driver, a fireman, or a clerk in the office, to do their bit so that the wheels never stop. If the wheels stop, business stopped. So he told Hansadutta that his bus should never stop. Still, he said, the temple is nirguna. So you may stay more than 3 days. That is allowed. But only if you have a business here. So two sannyasis, Prabhupada speaks to Hansadutta. Prabhupada knows Hansadutta very well. He is his disciple already for many years. He has given him so many responsibilities. Temple president, first initiation, second initiation. When Hansadutta was a GBC in Germany, he became GBC here, he was married. They came as a married couple, and both, also his wife, Himavati, I think is her name, they were both very important. And they built up the German Yatra, so he made him GBC. And then Hansadutta wanted to preach in India also, and he wanted to become sannyas also, so he made him sannyasi. He gave him a lot of responsibility, and he knew him personally very well. So he knew Hansadutta is a strong person. When I set him on a goal, he will execute. but he's also a little bit conflictive. So I have to see there is no conflicts with other strong leaders. A strong leader depends on his character. But if he's a little kshatriya leader, then he doesn't tolerate another leader. He wants to be the boss. The symptom is there. So, and he had this preaching program. Prabhupada already gave him the preaching program in India to go with a Sankirtan party all over India, distribute books. He had a bus, he had a strong team that were strong followers of him. So that was wonderful. In that field, that devotee could work wonderfully. But if he stays too long in the temple, there is another leader. No, it's a conflict. So Prabhupada told him, no, you are sannyasi, you cannot stay in one place more than 3 days. You have a bus, go and preach. And now Prabhupada speaks to his other disciple, also sannyasi, Akshayananda. Then Prabhupada turned to Akshayananda Swami. Now you must stay here in Vrindavan and never leave, unless I say so. You must stay and do the management. Well, he is also a sannyasi, and Prabhupada tells him to stay, to never leave. And Hansadutta is also a sannyasi, and Prabhupada tells him, never stay anywhere, keep moving. We all looked at each other and laughed. That is, devotees were there. The one who is writing this book, Harishauri Prabhu, he was a personal servant of Prabhupada and others. They sat around and they looked at each other and laughed. Prabhupada is so wonderful that he can give two apparently contradictory instructions. To tell one of his sannyasis, no, you are sannyasi, you cannot stay. And tell the other sannyasi, you are sannyasi, you must stay. Two contradictory instructions, and still be absolutely correct. Prabhupada went on to explain that without Akshayananda's presence, things in the temple were deteriorating. So he must remain to correct the defects. So I will stop here, but I have no mark to put in here where we stopped. So you see, the problem is solved. Sometimes two leaders are too much in the same place. Okay. If there are two strong personalities and they cannot work together, okay, one gets one project, the other gets another project. Probably this is all the time actually. And he sent his devotees to open new temples all the time. So if you grow up in Krishna consciousness, you become a strong leader. I will put this mark. Then open a new temple. And you become the Lord there. You can rule over the other devotees. Of course, even a strong leader, he must always cooperate with his group. No, it's not if you are an authority, in a sense you are a commander. But at the same time, you need the cooperation of your group, of everyone in the group. So you have to be convincing as a leader. And that means you need to have compassion with everyone in your group. It's not sufficient to say this, this, and this. Go. Now, Prabhupada is doing this here. He tells them, and everyone accepts. Even it seems to be contradictory, but everyone accepts. They are happy that Prabhupada says this. Because Prabhupada at the same time, he showed unconditional love to everyone. If someone loves you like anything, and you know it, you feel it, and that person is also a person who knows what he is doing or what she is doing, then you can trust that person. He or she tells me something, I'll do it. I will do it. I reciprocate with their love and responsibility and everything. I want such a strong leader. I personally want such a strong leader. I want someone who is above me, who can correct me, who can guide my crazy mind, who protects me, who knows what he is doing, and who loves me. So in the end, the only person who can do that in a perfect sense is Krishna. That's why we have become devotees of Krishna. Because Krishna is a supreme capable person and the supreme loving person. And a devotee, advanced devotee, must always represent that in society. No? That's why Prabhupada was a perfect acharya. Someone who could understand Prabhupada would surrender to him. Even these people, they were strong personalities. Hansadutta, he didn't tolerate anyone next to him. But he completely surrendered to Prabhupada. Up to the end of his life, although, I don't know if you know history of ISKCON a little bit, he became one of the 11 acharyas, so-called acharyas, after Prabhupada left. But at one point he left the movement. But up to the end, to his last breath, he was a Prabhupada disciple. He could not somehow at one point cooperate with his god brothers and sisters, but that didn't mean that he became an atheist or even that he left Prabhupada's lotus feet. He was disagreeing with his god brothers, but he had trust in Prabhupada. And like this, Prabhupada had many strong leaders who never agreed with one another, but when Prabhupada came and said, no, you do this and you do that. No, even they hated what Prabhupada told them. No, like Tamakrishna Goswami at one point was sent by Prabhupada to China. And Tamakrishna Goswami had a very strong preaching project in America, this Transcendental Sankirtan Party, together with his best friend, Vishnujana Swami. And they were so successful, and he loved it, and Prabhupada loved it. But because Tamakrishna Goswami again at one point created a conflict with his god brothers, then Prabhupada said, stop it, you go to China. Now I send you to China. And Tamakrishna Goswami said, no, don't do that, I'm needed in the Sankirtan party. I'm the manager there, without me they cannot do it. And Prabhupada told him, you think you are indispensable? You think that it's on your power that this project moves, you are very wrong. Your power is only borrowed by Krishna. Krishna has empowered you. But I'm taking away this power from you now. And I send you to China. Either you surrender and you do what I tell you, or if you don't want to do it, you sit in one place and only chant Hare Krishna. I will not give you any other service. You can follow the service I'm giving you, the advice, the order, or if you don't want to do it, okay, but then sit down and chant Hare Krishna. Well, he knew Krishna Goswami would never just sit down. He is someone who has to move something, he has to do something. So in the end, he surrendered. That is the meaning of surrender. Your authority tells you something and you do it. No? Krishna demands that in the Bhagavad Gita from Arjuna. Just surrender unto me. I will protect you. But you have to surrender. No? That is a condition. So we can surrender only to someone that we feel loves us. Otherwise it's, yeah, you can kind of surrender to your enemy, he defeats you, or someone who is just stronger than you, and by circumstances you have to surrender. But you never really surrender. If you have an opportunity, you escape. But when there is love, you will never go. So, as long as we have reciprocate some, a little bit with Prabhupada's love for us, with Krishna's love for us, we can never leave Prabhupada. We can never leave Krishna. And we are also trying to develop that love between us. Disagreement is normal. No? Even I was just thinking when I came to the temple, even Krishna and Balaram disagreed. They are both the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Krishna was supporting Arjuna and the Pandavas, Bhima, and Balaram was supporting Duryodhana in a certain aspect. No? When the war started, Kurukshetra, battle started, Balaram left. Was too much for him. Krishna is protecting the Pandavas and they will win. I will go away. Yeah, but that is Leela. No? In the end, we are individual persons. We have our own personality, our own desires. But out of love, we cooperate with everyone. But especially with our protectors, with our superiors. Do you agree? Yeah, Lilamrita. Lilamrita?
I agree, but I have a question.
Yeah, okay. I thought you disagree. But it's also okay if you disagree. We can talk about it.
I agree, I said. He agrees, not disagree.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, even if you disagree, you are welcome.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, tell me.
It's not about disagree or agree.
Yeah.
It's different. Because he was speaking. Yesterday I was watching wonderful video in our, how to say, community family, in our group. So there were the devotees from 7 years old too, speaking about, and Kamal Krishna speaking about Srila Prabhupada. It was very, very nice, as if he was always there. So, and I was absolutely delighted with this, as if I knew him personally. But the question, I the question is, you were speaking about different aspects of Srila Prabhupada, about his vilas, about his teachings, about his being manager, about his being, how to say, just kshatriya is well too for the devotees who are not, who don't obey. Question is, somehow shall we differentiate between all these aspects, between his being our teacher, Diksha and Shiksha, between his personal character features, between his leelas with his devotees and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or is it all the whole?
Sorry, I didn't get what you are.
Get.
No.
Again.
Say it again or in
Say it
another.
again. So
Did you get what?
Srila Prabhupada, as every living person, he was Shakti Avatar, but he was here.
Yeah.
Every of us has different features
Yeah.
of our character and different potentials to realize these features.
Yeah.
The question is, Srila Prabhupada has personal features of his character, and he has features like a teacher, and he has personal features like a beautiful cook, like a beautiful preacher, like a beautiful dancer, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, and he had special leelas with his devotees and Lord Chaitanya. The question is, shall we differentiate this all or take it just like one whole?
You mean if we should see Prabhupada as different personalities in one or just one personality?
No, different features, different aspects. We all have in us different aspects. But we are not sure.
Well, I think every person, every human, or even every animal, every creature, every demigod, everyone has different character traits, different aspects of his personality or her personality. It's like this.
It's not about animals. It is about Srila Prabhupada, like Shakti and Vishnu.
No, I mean every person, it doesn't mean who, has different aspects of his personality. And Prabhupada also has different aspects of his personality.
The question is, we somehow surrender to Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
That means we perceive him. All these aspects. Shall we perceive all these aspects like a whole, or we differentiate them?
I don't think it is even possible to differentiate, to separate these different aspects. You take a person as a whole, as he is or as she is. The whole personality. No, we don't say, okay, I accept Prabhupada as Shaktavesha avatar, but another feature I don't like, or I don't. No, the whole person. Maybe there are some aspects that individually we can relate to more than to other aspects. But it doesn't mean we don't consider the other aspects of a person. Maybe the most important characteristic of Prabhupada is that he was such a good cook. No? You can read when people speak about Prabhupada, they appreciated especially one aspect. That is very often. This is their most important relationship with Prabhupada. Oh, Prabhupada was such a good cook. Or he was such a good public. All the different aspects that you mention. But the other aspects are also there. You may focus on one aspect. That might be. You might focus on one, but you don't forget the other aspect. Especially if you come closer to a person, like we in ISKCON devotees, we come closer to Srila Prabhupada, and we, in general, we appreciate all the other aspects of Prabhupada also. People who were just not so much in contact with Prabhupada may appreciate only one of his aspects, but we appreciate many aspects of Prabhupada. No? For us, it's unimaginable that Prabhupada was not a good kirtan leader. Of course he was. Such a transcendental power by singing. That he was such a good cook. The recipes we have here in our movement, while we cook like this, Vedic cooking, it comes basically from Prabhupada. And we know Prabhupada was an excellent cook. He was an excellent manager, otherwise we wouldn't have even one temple, what to speak of a worldwide movement. He was such a great philosopher and preacher, and he was so personal with everyone. Such a great psychologist, you could also say. We appreciate all these different aspects of Prabhupada.
Thank you very much.
This is how I see it. But yeah, some might appreciate especially one of his aspects, especially. What aspect of Srila Prabhupada do you appreciate especially? Best preacher. And you? His compassion.
I think the whole.
His whole personality.
Yes. So, like wie ein Zehnkämpfer, der in allen Disziplinen hervorragend ist. Ich weiß nicht mehr.
Yeah. Zehnkämpfer means it's an Olympic discipline. There are athletes, they compete in 10 different disciplines. I don't know how to call that. Do you know that? Yeah, Olympic Games. Don't know sports, Olympic Games. Okay, there is running, there is swimming, no? Olympic Games. There is running and jumping, there is high jumping, there is far jumping, there is throwing something. So there is one discipline where you have to compete in 10 different parts. And the one who is best in that wins. Yeah? Und du, Roel?
I think the books.
Books.
Because the most difficult thing, the rest you write under really easy thing. Even a child can read that books and understand.
The books. Lilamrita.
He was the friend of all, and he was a friend of all, and he is a friend of all. And his personal character for me, sometimes he was like a child, not stupid, he was very intelligent, but for example, he he wanted to go to San Francisco to fly, and Mukunda asked him, have you ever flown? No. He had never flown with the airplane, and he didn't know how it, and Mukunda certainly he did everything for him to do it. So that is also one of his aspects I appreciate very much. That's why maybe he could preach, and that's why maybe he could cook, and that's why maybe he could do all these things, because he was very honest, like a child, open.
Damayanti.
One of the things I appreciate is his tolerance, but there are so many more.
Tolerance, okay.
To tolerated so many things for all of us to bring this movement forward.
Yeah, there are so many aspects of Prabhupada. And when I hear from you, then that becomes illuminated for me also. I think, I also think like that. Yeah. Transcendental personality has unlimited qualities. Unlimited. It's amazing. Okay, so we have done Prabhupada Katha on his disappearance day, but we also want to read Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 16. King Chitraketu meets the Lord. Text 22. Yasmin idam yatash jedam tishtati apyeti jayate mrinmayeshu iva mrijjatis tasmai te brahmane namaha yasminidam yataschedam tishtatyapyeti jayate mrinmayeshviva mrichatis tasmai te brahmane namaha yasminidam yataschedam tishtatyapyeti jayate mrinmayeshviva mrichatis tasmai te brahmane namaha. Yeah.
Yasminam yatam chedam tishthatya piti jayate mrinmaya shiva mrijnatis
Tasmate Brahmane Namaha.
tasmate brahmane namaha. Yasminidam yataschedam tishthatya piti jayate mrinmaya shiva mrijnatis tasmai te brahmane namaha.
Yasminidam yataschedam
Yasminidam yataschedam
tishnayati apyeti jayate
tishthatya piti jayate
mrinmavyesh iva mrijatis
mrinmaya shiva mrijnatis
tasmaite brahmane namaha.
tasmate brahmane namaha.
Ladies.
Yasminidam yataschedam tishtatyapyeti jayate mrinmayeshviva mrichatis
Mrinmaya shiva
Yasmin,
Yasmin,
in whom
in whom
idam,
Idam,
this
this
cosmic manifestation,
cosmic manifestation,
yata,
Yata,
from whom
from whom
cha,
Cha,
also
also
idam,
Idam,
this cosmic manifestation,
this cosmic manifestation,
tishtati,
Tishtati,
stands, apyeti,
Api,
dissolves,
dissolves,
jayate,
Jayate,
is born,
is born,
mrit mayeshu,
with my Yeshu,
in things made of earth,
and things of the earth,
iva, like,
like
mrijati,
Vijati,
birth from earth, tasmai,
Tasmai,
unto him,
unto him,
te, you,
you,
brahmane,
Brahmane,
the supreme cause,
the supreme cause,
namaha,
Namaha,
respectful obeisances. As pots made completely of earth are situated on earth after being created and are transformed into earth again when broken. This cosmic manifestation is caused by the Supreme Brahman, situated in the Supreme Brahman and annihilated in the same Supreme Brahman. Therefore, since the Supreme Lord is the cause of Brahman, let us offer him our respectful obeisances. And the purport is one sentence. The Supreme Lord is the cause of the cosmic manifestation. He maintains it after creation, and after annihilation, the Lord is the reservoir of everything. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksho Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So this verse is part of a prayer that Narada Muni tells Chitraketu. He gives him a prayer or a mantra to chant, and this verse is part of this mantra. So the prayer is glorifying the Supreme Lord. And usually a prayer to the Supreme Lord should include glorification of the Lord. And a prayer is not just give me this or give me that, please. I'm a poor fellow and I have a problem, I have this problem. Please help me. Krishna, save me. Help me with this. Give me this, I need it. It should include glorification also. And glorification of the Lord is done by describing his qualities. It's as simple as that. A devotee should understand the Lord to different degrees. He should understand the qualities, the nature of the Lord. And just describing the nature of the Lord is glorifying the Lord. Because the qualities, the nature of the Supreme, they are all glorious. It's all wonderful. If you know God, if you know Krishna, you just describe him how he is. It's pure glorification. It's so wonderful. Every one of his aspects. So here Narada Muni describes some basic aspects of the Lord. Like we have spoken before, Srila Prabhupada and every other creature, every living entity, every soul, has different aspects, different qualities. What to speak of the Supreme Lord? He has unlimited aspects, unlimited qualities. But one very basic aspect is his, how do we call it? Achintya Beda Abeda, Tattva, feature. He is simultaneously different from everything and one with everything. Krishna is everything. Nothing can exist out of Krishna. Everything comes from him. And he eternally remains connected with everything. Here the example is given of an earthen pot. Where does this pot come from? From earth. Where does it stand? The pot is made, it stands on the floor, it stands on earth. And when the pot breaks, it dissolves, it goes back to earth. The pot is always earth. It always is connected with the earth. So this example is given. Everything in existence, in this world, in the transcendental world, all the living entities are parts and parcels of Krishna. In that sense, everything is Krishna. Krishna is present everywhere. Through his Brahman, all-pervading feature, he is everywhere. But at the same time, nothing is Krishna. Krishna as a person, I cannot say this table is Krishna, or these glasses are Krishna, or that window is Krishna, or that tree outside is Krishna. I cannot say, I am Krishna, you are Krishna. No, Krishna is a separate personality. He is his own personality. So in one sense, he is everything, but in another sense, nothing is Krishna except for his personality, his supreme personality, his original personality. In that sense, not even Vishnu is Krishna. Shiva, Brahma are not Krishna. Not even Vishnu is Krishna. Only Krishna is Krishna. Of course, nothing can compare to him. He is his own personality. And at the same time, he is everything. Krishna explains this concept also in the Bhagavad Gita. The most important chapters in the Gita is the middle portion, 7th chapter to 12th chapter, where Krishna gives confidential knowledge about himself. And in the 9th chapter, he explains, Avajadanti mammuda manushim tanum ashrita. When I descend to this world in my original form as Krishna, mudas, the fools, the rascals, deride me. Deride, I haven't known this English word before, I'm not a perfect English speaker, but it means they don't take him seriously, even making fun of him. Now, Krishna appears and everyone immediately there is another human being, maybe demigod at most. It cannot be the Supreme, because Supreme is everything. He cannot appear. And especially he looks like us. Maybe a little different, maybe more beautiful, maybe he has more power, more intelligence, whatever. But kind of he is one of us. It's very difficult for a conditioned soul to understand that the Lord is all-pervading, he has a supreme power, he is the cause of everything, he is everything in one sense, and at the same time, he has his own personality, he has his own form, he has his own characteristics. You can see. This is Krishna here in front of me. So that is one of the most important things to understand about how do you say that in English? Existence. Existence. The most difficult thing to understand and the most important thing to understand about existence is Veda Abeda. We are all connected with souls, eternal parts of Krishna. In a sense, we are one. No, Mayavadis, they take it to an extreme. Advaita Vedanta, the impersonalists. We are one, all one. That is true. We are one. We all belong to Krishna. In a sense, we are one. We are the same essence. But we are different at the same time. I'm sitting here and you are sitting there. You're sitting in a different place. I'm speaking to you. You are answering me, or you are listening. It doesn't make sense if we are one without a difference. Why should I speak to you? No? In that sense, impersonalism doesn't make sense. Impersonalist should not speak to anyone. Why should he? Because he knows he is one with the other with no difference. Why should there be a communication? We are all one. No, but reality, supreme reality is, yes, we are one. We belong together. We are inseparable. But we are still individual beings. In the same way, the root cause of everything, Krishna, he is his own personality. And that is the most difficult aspect of existence to understand. That the origin of everything is also a person. And that is the most confidential part of the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna explains this. People may understand Brahman. Tatam idam, maya tatam idam savam, jagat avyakta murtina. Krishna also says this, is in my unmanifested form, I'm including everything. I'm distributed everywhere. Krishna has this form, God has this aspect, to be everywhere. But at the same time, he is at one place only. No? He appears in Mathura, Janmastami. Now he is everyone, but now he appears in Mathura. That is the place he is. You can meet him there. You have to go there to see baby Krishna in that particular moment, 5,000 years ago. Then he goes to Vrindavan. Later he is in Dwaraka. He is fighting the battle of Kurukshetra. He is in Kurukshetra with Arjuna on the battlefield, on the cart where he is. So, but at the same time he is everywhere. And he is everywhere means he has knowledge of everyone and everything at all times. No? Omnipresence. God is omnipresent. Conscious of everything at the same time. Omnipotent. He has all the powers. No? But he is also a little blue boy. So, and that is the most difficult part of Vedic knowledge to understand. And therefore it is not explained everywhere. It is explained in confidential parts of Vedic knowledge. In the Upanishads, sometimes there is given a glimpse of this. Most of the time is all impersonal knowledge about Brahman, maybe Paramatma. Bhagavan, sometimes a little bit is given. Also in the original Vedas, Sometimes. But in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna appears personally and speaks about him personally also. And fully developed is that understanding in Srimad Bhagavatam. If you really want to learn how God is a person, and at the same time he is everything also, you have to study Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's why we are so grateful to Srila Prabhupada. One of his aspects that you have mentioned before is the translation of these books and the explanation in the purports, that we can understand the most important, most difficult to understand aspects of existence. Now, maybe we can say, I don't know, I'm speculating now, that half of Srila Prabhupada's contribution was his books, at least. So important. Without this knowledge, this movement could not exist. No devotee in this movement could exist without these books, without understanding Srimad Bhagavatam. You can't. That's why your nourishment as a devotee is not only prasadam, but is these books also. You have to take them into you every day. You have to nourish your soul. We have to constantly read these books to increase our understanding and to not forget also. Is because this material atmosphere in Kali Yuga is so dense, so thick, that if we stop learning, if we stop thinking, if we stop hearing about Krishna from great personalities, we start forgetting. If you stop reading, after some time, you have forgotten. You knew something before, last year or 5 years ago, you were more intelligent because you were still reading. You had a better understanding. You were more connected with Krishna. If you stop reading, you forget. You have to and of course all the other things also. You have to continue chanting also. You have to continue taking prasadam. You have to continue worshipping Krishna and Srila Prabhupada and the acharyas. Also, one time, one of Prabhupada's disciples asked him, Prabhupada, can we have the chanting only? Only chanting? Is that sufficient? To only chant? No, it says, just by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you reach all perfection. In the 12th canto of Bhagavatam, it says, Kirtaniya? Yeah. Kirtanadi eva Krishnasya. Yeah. That means Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. The whole verse is like this. Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. Nothing works. No spiritual process even works. There's only one good quality. That is the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. Kirtanadi eva Krishnasya, it says even. Not Rama, Vishnu, Narayan, Krishna. Chant the holy name of Krishna. Of course, Krishna has many names, Govinda, Gopinath. Chant these names. This is the only good quality. It makes our life very easy, no? Everything is nonsense. Chanting of the holy name is good. So I do that. It's very easy. You don't have to, no complicated sacrifices, no complicated meditation, no complicated this or that spiritual process. Chanting of the holy name of Krishna. So that is there. So Prabhupada's disciples ask, Prabhupada, can we just chant and not do all the other things? And then Prabhupada says, why do you think your spiritual master has translated all these books? Why do you think I'm making such an effort that at night I don't sleep? Usually, human being, during the day, you can be very active. You can be active for many hours all day, doing things. But at night you have to sleep, otherwise next day you cannot do anything. No? Is that not your experience? If you don't sleep at night well, sufficiently, kaput. Next day. So Prabhupada only slept very few hours. He went to bed to take rest, and then all his disciples and everyone else took rest, and when everyone was sleeping, Prabhupada got up again. For what? For translating these books. So he tells to his disciple, why do you think I'm translating all these books? If Prabhupada does something, it means it's important. Very important. So reading the books is essential. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada books ki jai. Any questions or comments? What do you think about Prabhupada's disappearance? For whom are you translating? Okay. Okay. What do you think about Prabhupada's disappearance? How do you feel about it? Yeah.
We understand that disappearance day is also a festival, right? Because maybe I was just thinking today, is it auspicious? How do we understand that it's auspicious? And how is it even a festival?
Yeah. Is Beda Abeda? Again, this concept is everywhere. Yeah, it's auspicious when a Vaishnava leaves this world. Why? Why is it auspicious?
Unites with Krishna.
Yeah, pure Vaishnava. It's not that he's born again in some other country, in Siberia, Alaska, Mexico, or wherever you can appear in this family. No, he goes to Krishna. It's auspicious. His mission is complete here. He has done a wonderful service. Our acharyas, when they leave, they have completed such a great mission. And they return home. Returning home is not auspicious, especially if it's a spiritual world. It's so auspicious. At the same time, we are very morose. That we have lost this great opportunity to be personally with Prabhupada. Of course, we can associate with Prabhupada so much now, still, with his murti, with his instructions, with his books, with his movement, with his disciples, with his grand-disciples, with his grand-grand-disciples, with the devotees in this movement. We can associate with him, we can pray to him. But still, the personal appearance is like Krishna. When Krishna personally appeared, that is still something special. So, just imagine if Prabhupada was still here. How old would he be? 130, around. Yeah, it's not impossible. Jagannathas Babaji, he became 125. But I think if Prabhupada had stayed only 10 years more, maybe only 5 years more, the whole world would have become Krishna conscious. His preaching was so strong, but he wanted to leave some work for us. Not everything is already done. No? Sometimes devotees wait for the next acharya to appear in our movement, to guide us. We are lost now with Prabhupada. Yeah, you can. We have to cooperate, work together to continue Prabhupada's mission. Some disciple, when Prabhupada was about to disappear, the last month he was only lying in bed. He couldn't even turn alone anymore. His body was a skeleton. He didn't eat anything for many months. Nothing. So how can the body survive? Became very weak. And some devotee was trying to encourage Prabhupada. You have to stay with us. You have not completed your mission. And Prabhupada answered, I have given you everything. But Prabhupada, you have not finished Bhagavatam. But everything is there. If we really take advantage of what Prabhupada has given us, we can see is complete. Is absolutely complete. Is incomplete in a sense that he has left some things for us to do. The whole world is not yet Krishna conscious. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire. Prabhupada started it and he gave us everything that we can continue from there. Nothing is missing. Except for your contribution. Acharyas always give room for us, for followers, to do service. Krishna always gives room for us to do service. Otherwise he can do everything himself. Krishna could have the battle in Kurukshetra, Krishna could have done it himself. Actually he told Arjuna in one point of the Gita, I have already killed them. Look at the universe, you can see the future. I have done it already. But I want you to do it. I want you to be my tool. So, disappearance day is Beda Abeda. It's very sad, our feelings are that we are sad. At the same time, it's auspicious. Celebrating this day connects us deeper with Srila Prabhupada. In the moment we are connected deeper with Prabhupada, we are connected deeper with Krishna. In the moment we are connected deeper with Krishna, we are connected deeper with our own soul. And that's why we celebrate this day. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.